If you're looking for the best wedges for high handicappers, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the 10th position of our list, we have Callaway Sure Out Wedge. Callaway have revamped their Sure Out Wedge. It used to be on the market in their Hogan range, and produced a modern design that we think is absolutely perfect for those high handicappers that particularly struggle with bunker shots. The Sure Out has a much wider sole than most wedges, as well as a naturally rounded shape. This really helps you with bounce, and makes getting out of bunkers that little bit easier. It's probably the most forgiving club on our list, and we think the design will help the highest of handicappers feel more confident the next time you find a tricky lie. We highly recommend the Sure Out for those that have problems getting out of the sand at the first time of asking. Moving on to the next at number 9 with Cleveland RTX4 VMG. The second Cleveland wedge on our list, and another club popular with all levels of golfer. The RTX4 range has 3 different wedges and, given its cavity back, we think this is the best bet for mid to high handicappers. The RTX range is slightly less forgiving than the CBX by Cleveland. The cavity back isn't quite as big, so the design looks more like a traditional blade iron. For those perhaps a little more confident with their wedge shots, this makes for a great alternative from Cleveland. Cleveland have designed it in a way that moves 9g of mass from the hosel and redistributes it to the head of the club. It means the center of gravity is closer to the impact zone, and it feels extremely well balanced in your hands. It's this weight distribution that makes it little more forgiving than the rest of the RTX range. For those that have a tendency to hit down on their wedge shots, the VMG sole grind has that same V-shape as the CBX, and will provide you with more leading edge bounce through impact. The number 8 position is held by Callaway Mack Daddy 4 S-Grind Wedge. Callaway brought in legendary wedge designer Roger Cleveland to work on the Mack Daddy 4 range, and together they've designed a set of highly reactive, premium wedges. The S-Grind is the most versatile of the collection, making it the obvious choice for high handicappers. In terms of design, we particularly like the slightly squarer toe offset to create a straighter leading edge. You'll find the Mack Daddy will give you more spin than most wedges. That's down to its 16 groove configuration, and an extra, larger, groove drilled in the very bottom of the club face. For those looking for a bit of extra stopping power on their shots, the Mack Daddy S-Grind is a great choice from among our list of best wedges. Next at number 7 we have Wilson Harmonized Golf Wedge. The Harmonized wedge by Wilson is what we call the budget club on our list of best wedges and, given its sleek aesthetic and innovative construction, offers great value for money. For an entry-level club, we were particularly impressed with Wilson's sole grind design. It's unique to the Wilson range and allows you to easily open the club face further than other wedges, increasing loft and giving you greater variety around the greens. It looks great too. It's shaped more like a traditional bladed wedge, and with its high polish finish, won't look out of place amongst the most expensive irons and woods. The number 6 position is held by Cleveland CBX Wedge. Cleveland are renowned for their wedges, and they're hugely popular with both professionals and amateurs. We think their CBX is the perfect choice for higher handicappers. The CBX wedge is made with what Cleveland call a dual V-sole. It creates a unique club head shape, with a slightly wider toe and a narrower heel. It's very likely you'll be playing with cavity back irons, and if you're intimidated by the bladed shape of most wedges, the bulkier back of the CBX will help boost your confidence over the ball. The number 5 position is dominated by Callaway Jaws Mack Daddy 5. The Callaway Jaws MD5 is the most cutting-edge wedge Callaway has put out to date, designed by legendary chief wedge designer Roger Cleveland. The club heads are made with 8,620 mild carbon steel, which is meant to produce a soft and satisfying feel off the face. This wedge is all about spin and bite, hence the name Jaws. Callaway deploys their groove and groove technology on the face of the wedge to produce the maximum amount of spin possible, billed as the most aggressive grooves in golf. If you are looking for a wedge that will help you with distance control and spin, this is a great option. Callaway is well known to produce exceptional wedges, and the Mack Daddy 5 is no exception. This is another wedge geared toward the more advanced player, and is a wedge you can grow into over time. If you're looking for maximum forgiveness, I'd stay away from this one for now. Moving on to the next at number 4 with Callaway Sure Out 2.0. The Callaway Sure Out 2 is designed specifically with the bunker shot in mind, and makes every attempt to make it easy to get out. Out of the sand, this club is meant to be forgiving and produce a shot that produces a lot of spin to stop quickly. The bunker shot is one that takes a lot of work. If you struggle to hit consistent shots out of the sand, the Sure Out is definitely worth checking out. The number 3 position is held by Ping Glide 3.0 WS. The Ping Glide 3.0 wedges have been on the market since 2019, and it's safe to say that this lineup holds some of the best wedges you can find on the market right now. As for the best wedge for high handicappers, look no further than the Ping Glide 3.0 WS wedge. The WS in the name stands for wide sole, which translates into a more forgiving package for the average player. If you want a forgiving wedge without having an excessively fat sole, this Ping wedge is definitely worth a look. Next at number 2 we have Cleveland Smart Sole 3.0 Wedge C. This club is billed as a super game improvement wedge, and is made to help all high handicap players. The Smart Sole S is a higher loft of 58 degrees, and is made for improving your game out of the bunker. The data Cleveland collected shows golfers are 30% more likely to get on the green with their bunker shot with the Smart Sole S versus a competitor club. If your biggest issue is getting out of a bunker, this will definitely help. Smart Sole C has a loft of just 42 degrees, and is perfect for chipping, or generally shots inside of 100 yards. I think as a beginner it will probably be more useful to go for C because it can be useful right off the green or on approach. This club is great for someone who struggles with consistency in their chipping and short game. You may give up some spin and control, but in turn this club is as forgiving as they come. If you're brand new to the game, or find the idea of your short game to be an absolute nightmare, give these wedges a shot. Finally, the number 1 position is dominated by Square Strike Wedge. We want to be extremely clear, this is not a good wedge to take full shots with. The Square Strike Wedge is made for beginners and high handicappers, who struggle to hit their wedges well when it comes to chipping. If you feel like you need something that makes chipping and pitching as easy as possible, this may be a very solid option for you. The sole of the Square Strike is extra wide, and we have to admit this wedge makes it tough to hit a shot fat. To optimize how this club performs, you really should hit it almost as if it's a putter. Use a putting stroke straight back and straight through motion. We don't recommend this wedge to everyone. That said, this is a great wedge for a high handicapper who struggles with chipping.